What if I told you that Arsenal right now are closer to making football history than any English club has ever been, and one of the greatest managers in the world just publicly backed them to do it? Stay with us all the way to the end, because we have got a mountain of massive Arsenal updates to get through today, and trust me, you do not want to miss a single second of this. And before we dive in, if you are loving the content here on Gunners Updates, please do us a massive favor and drop 300 likes on this video. It genuinely keeps us going and helps us bring you the very best Arsenal coverage every single day. Now let us get straight into it, because Carlo Ancelotti, the man who has won just about everything there is to win in the world of football, has come out and publicly tipped Arsenal to lift more than 2 trophies this season. He described Mikel Arteta's side as a very formidable outfit right now, and those words coming from a man of his stature have absolutely lit up the back pages and social media feeds right across the country. Ancelotti, who currently manages Real Madrid, made it crystal clear that what impresses him most about this Arsenal team is their mentality, their grit, and their absolute refusal to buckle under pressure. He said you can see it in every single match they play, that never-say-die attitude that has them competing on every front simultaneously in the 2025 to 2026 season. He went as far as saying that with the kind of form Arsenal are currently showing, winning more than a couple of pieces of silverware is not just a dream. It is a very realistic possibility, and that has only added serious fuel to the quadruple whispers that have been circulating for weeks now. He also took a moment to give a warm and genuine shout-out to his Brazilian compatriots Gabriel Magalhães and Gabriel Martinelli, praising the levels they are performing at and highlighting how brilliantly they are representing Brazil ahead of next summer's World Cup. The reaction to his comments has been enormous, with Arsenal supporters absolutely lapping up every word and rival fans doing their very best to pretend it does not bother them, which of course it absolutely does. And the timing of these comments could not have been better, coming right off the back of Arsenal's utterly ruthless performance in the Champions League against Bayer Leverkusen, and with the Carabao Cup final against Manchester City at Wembley looming large on the horizon this Sunday. The momentum at the Emirates right now is something quite special. Arsenal sit at the top of the Premier League, they are into the Champions League quarterfinals, and they have a major cup final just days away. The results are doing all the talking and backing up absolutely everything that Ancelotti has said. As he himself put it, nothing is won in March and football is a funny old game, but when a serial winner of his caliber looks at your squad and fancies you for a proper haul, it does something incredibly powerful to the belief running through the fanbase. Come on, you Gunners. Now let us talk about one of the most jaw-dropping moments of the entire season so far, because 16-year-old Max Daumann has officially etched his name into the history books by becoming the youngest ever goalscorer in the history of the Premier League. His match-winning goal against Everton sent the internet into complete meltdown, with coverage spreading like wildfire from the BBC and Sky Sports all the way across every social media platform you can think of. Mikel Arteta described him as incredible and a genuine game changer, and the praise coming from the manager felt completely and utterly deserved. What has resonated so deeply with supporters is the trust that Arteta places in his young academy players during the biggest moments, and it has got every single person connected with the club buzzing with excitement about what the next generation of talent could bring to this football club in the years to come. The Premier League table at this point in the season is telling its own extraordinary story. The Gunners are sitting pretty at the summit, 9 points clear of Manchester City after Pep Guardiola's side were held to a 1-1 draw by West Ham, with a very special mention going to former Gunner Konstantinos Mavropanos for the equaliser that helped keep that gap firmly in Arsenal's favour. Legends of the game, including Alan Shearer, have already started going public with their belief that if Arsenal win the Carabao Cup this weekend, then a genuine quadruple, 4 trophies in one single season, is very much on the cards. No English side has ever managed to pull that off in the history of the game, but with the way this Arsenal squad is performing right now, there is a very real and growing feeling that this could finally be the year the Gunners write themselves into the history books in the most spectacular fashion imaginable. Their Champions League campaign has been equally breathtaking. Arsenal were absolutely clinical against Bayer Leverkusen, sealing a 3-1 aggregate victory to advance to the quarter-finals in dominant fashion, with Declan Rice producing yet another masterful performance in the middle of the park. On the biggest stages in European football, this team looks composed, organized, ruthless, and completely ready to compete, and that performance has kept the quadruple conversation very much alive and well. But right now, all roads lead to Wembley and the Carabao Cup final against Manchester City this Sunday, and it is genuinely the match that has the entire country losing their heads with excitement. For Manchester City, it represents their final realistic shot at silverware this season. For Arsenal, it is potentially the first step towards something truly historic and monumental. Team news has been the topic on everyone's lips, with Martin Odegaard expected to be available from the bench, Jurrien Timber potentially in line to start, and Arteta facing a tricky decision at left-back between Ricardo Calafiori and Piero Hincapié to ensure the defensive structure remains as solid as possible. Arteta himself has been absolutely clear about just how significant this final is, describing it as a defining moment in Arsenal's entire season. He believes that victory could ignite their Premier League title charge in the most powerful way, while a defeat could place unnecessary pressure on the squad's mentality and momentum. He has also made it known that he is prepared to rest key players in the match immediately prior to the final, if that is what it takes to ensure everyone is at their absolute sharpest when they walk out at Wembley. There is also a little bit of transfer murmuring happening in the background, with some reports suggesting a potential move to balance the books under financial regulations, possibly involving Martinelli, as well as interest in a Bundesliga midfielder and Elliot Anderson. But let us be completely honest with each other here. All of that feels very secondary and very distant compared to the magnitude of what is unfolding on the pitch right now. This Carabao Cup final is not just a cup final. It is the first time since 1978 that the top two sides in the Premier League have faced each other in the League Cup final. Back then, it was Liverpool against Nottingham Forest. Liverpool won it and went on to clinch the double. Both clubs are dreaming of a domestic double this season, something City have achieved 4 times under Guardiola, while Arsenal are desperate to end a 6-year wait for silverware that has felt far too long for a club of their stature and ambition. Arsenal arrive at Wembley in magnificent form, 9 points clear at the top of the table, having navigated their Champions League campaign with real authority and with a calmness around London Colney that feels genuinely different from previous seasons. City, on the other hand, have had their aura of invincibility dented significantly. Their Champions League exit to Real Madrid, combined with some baffling defensive errors and inconsistent performances, has left Guardiola's side looking more vulnerable than they have in years. And Jacico Gvardiol being ruled out through injury does not help matters either. Guardiola will have big decisions to make about his setup, whether to go attacking and open or revert to the more cautious approach that earned them a draw against Arsenal back in September. The central battle in this final looks like it will be Arsenal's rock-solid and well-drilled system against whatever Guardiola decides to tinker with. City have not lost to Arteta's Arsenal in 3 years, and they will be desperate to remind everyone who has historically held the upper hand in this rivalry. But Arsenal's recent form suggests the balance of power in English football may be shifting in a very significant direction. For Arsenal, winning this trophy would not simply end a 6-year drought. It would ignite belief. It would send the most powerful message possible to every other team in England and Europe, and it would prove beyond any doubt that this generation of Gunners are genuine contenders ready to dominate the game for years to come. A win for City, on the other hand, could stop Arsenal's momentum in its tracks, close the gap psychologically, and potentially unravel some of the confidence that has been building so beautifully at the Emirates. The implications stretch far beyond 90 minutes on Sunday afternoon. Sky Sports will have full coverage from the 4:30 kickoff, and you absolutely do not want to miss it. The build-up is electric, the stakes could not be higher, the whole country is gripped, and Arsenal go into this Wembley showdown as the form team, the league leaders, and the side with genuine history in their sights. Come on, you Gunners, let us get that trophy and let us go and make history. Thank you so much for watching Gunners Updates today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like it, share it with a fellow Gooner, and leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Keep following the journey with us, and we will see you in the next one. Come on, you Gunners.